Okay, it's 9:02. Let's get rolling. So welcome to Bike to Wherever Days 2023 Energizer Station Training. My name is Tim Wee. I'm the primary coordinator for Bike to Wherever Days, but I've got a lot of people helping. Colin is helping, Shiloh and Monica and John Han. I've got a lot of helpers at SVBC. Thank you guys for supporting me and gals. So if you don't know who SVBC is all about, Silicon Valley Bike Coalition is a nonprofit member-based organization whose mission is to build healthier, more just communities by making bicycling safe and accessible for everyone. And Bike to Wherever Days is one of our biggest programs. Actually, it is our biggest program. We're trying to get a lot of people, more butts on bikes as much as possible. So yeah, Bike to Wherever Day is all about the people. With the education, rides, events, which is Bike to Wherever Day, and also advocates are all a part of our people side. And that people power helps us get better places to bike, better bike lanes, roads, trails, making it safe for everyone to bike. So thank you so much for being here to support Bike to Wherever Days and getting more people biking. Because the more people we get biking, the more people we get to pledge, the more power we have to make our environment safer for everyone and solve climate change and health issues and economic issues, a whole bunch of benefits for biking. So we're going to do a poll now. I want to know how many times you have hosted an Energizer station before, been the manager for one. So I'll launch my poll. You can answer the question. It should be up now for all of you. So go ahead and look how many times. Oh, we got a lot of newbies here. First time. Awesome. And let's see. You've got another 3 of you. Okay, 2 more people with 21 here currently. So you go ahead and answer the poll. I'll give you a few more 10, 15, 20 more seconds to answer the poll if you join. Thank you for the people who are just arriving. I've got a poll going already. How many times have you done Energizer Station? We're up to 20 people. 2 other people still haven't answered. Okay, I'm going to end the poll and share the results. That's close enough. Okay, so we've got more than half of you. This is the first time you've hosted an Energizer Station. Thank you so much for hosting an Energizer Station. I've got 1 person that had 1 station before, 2 that have done a station before, and 3, or 5 people have done stations 3 times or more. Awesome. Thank you for returning and lending your expertise. Now, if any of you have questions during this session, you can also pop them into the chat or hold your questions. There'll be Q&A at the end. So our agenda for today, I'll go over our goals, what to do to prep, what will be in your Energizer Station kits, what you should bring, how you should set yourself up, how you should operate while the Energizer Station is in session, as well as cleanup at the end. And again, Q&A, anytime, pop it into the chat. I'll be watching the chat, or you can raise your hand, and then we'll have a Q&A at the end to wrap up as well. And here in this picture, you see some former staff members leading a very basic Energizer Station. The minimum you need is a table, so you can put the stuff out, and then you set yourself up. But you'll see fancier Energizer Stations shortly. You can actually have a lot more stuff at your Energizer Station. So the goals of this is more butts on bikes. So we just want as many people biking out there as possible. We want happy bicyclists. We want happy volunteers, happy hosts. We want to get as many people pledged to ride as possible. That is our key metric to measure how good our penetration is going. How many people did we get out there? It's all about people power, as I mentioned earlier. The more people we have biking, the more people we have as part of our movement, the faster we can get safer roads and trails for bicyclists to enjoy themselves and improve the laws and get more people biking. The more people who bike, the safer it is for everyone. So pledge to ride is our key metric. And you've seen the city challenge that we have going. I haven't actually done the metrics for Monday yet. I'm a little bit behind because I had a bunch of stuff to do yesterday. I was hauling a lot of cargo to Sports Basement for all of your Energizer stations. So I haven't finished doing the metrics this today, but I'll get that done shortly. Also, we give out this Musettes, this bicycling bag that you can sling over your shoulder. So we want to get those to people who have pledged to ride. We have bike ambassadors who are very special people. I'll talk about a little bit more. We're trying to minimize waste because bicycling is a super efficient form of transportation, very little waste. We want our Energizer stations to model the bicycling efficiency. So think about how to reduce your waste as much as possible. Have zero waste snacks and make sure you clean everything up at the end, and do your best and have fun. This is all about a great fun event for all of you to participate and for all our riders to enjoy. And you see some happy riders and hosts here that have visited the Microsoft Energizer station in the years past. So do post pictures of bicyclists in your bags on your social media during the event. Fear of missing out, which is FOMO, fear of missing out, is a big driver for a lot of people to show up at these Energizer stations. They hear it's happening in their area and they can pop out and visit you and get their bag, like this happy person did during COVID. You can tell by the mask. This is a during COVID Bike to Wherever Day picture. So Prep, thank you so much for being here to take this training. It's very helpful to take training because not everyone likes reading the manual, but we do have the host guide that has all this information in it also. As part of Prep, do let all of your friends, your family, your organizations just spread the word to get a lot of people to pledge to ride, to show up at Energizer stations. Contact other volunteers to help you out because it's more fun with friends at your station. Post on social media in advance of the event. Post pictures of you with your bag at the event or with bicyclists who are coming by, post their picture. As part of the pledge to ride, they've basically given permission for us to take pictures of them at the Energizer station. So we have the photo release as part of pledge to ride. Load up your car or bike in advance, especially if you have a really early morning station, like loading up in the morning. If you're in a rush, you forget stuff. I typically load up my bikes or bike with my trailers. You see a picture here. For this, I was actually doing a repair clinic in Sunnyvale, but I loaded everything on my bike, multiple canopies, tables, chairs, etc. I have done Energizer stations multiple times by loading up my bike to get out onto a trail and just hold it all there. And I am hauling most of the stuff that you see at Sports Basement Sunnyvale, at least. I'm hauling that on my bike to Sports Basement for the stuff that's not delivered there. So yeah, load up in advance and hopefully you can bike to your station, but if you can't, then roll yourself or wheel yourself, or if you have to you can drive, because it is a lot of stuff and most people don't have all the trailers I have. Okay, in your kit, you'll get your kit on Monday, May 15th from 12 to 3 p.m. If you're in Santa Clara County, you'll be going to Sports Basement Sunnyvale at 1177 Kern Ave in Sunnyvale. If you're in San Mateo County, if your station is located in San Mateo County, you'll be going to the Redwood City Sports Basement at 202 Walnut Street, Redwood City. And in your kit, or as part of your kit, you'll get a box containing bags with, the bags contain an SVBC/Bike Summit card. So we can get more people to go to our Bike Summit. They'll have an SVBC sticker. I'm hoping they'll have BART tickets in the bags, but the BART tickets seem to have gone missing and shipping someplace. I'm hoping they arrive in time so we stuff them this weekend. And there can be other stuff. And you as an Energizer station host, if you want to put special stuff in your bag, you can do that. Right now, this is the stuff that we'll have stuffed in all the bags across both counties. Actually, San Mateo County, they have some extra things that commute.org, they've got a little prize inside of theirs that we do not have in Santa Clara County. But in Santa Clara County, we do have maps that we're not stuffing in bags anymore because we want people to take maps as needed instead of just automatically getting a map in every bag. A lot of people already have the map because it hasn't changed that much since last year. And also the maps you can give out to people who may miss getting a bag. Those maps are really cool because they not only have all the latest bike trails and bike routes on one side, on the flip side, they've got a really good safety information and who to contact if you run into issues. So those Santa Clara County maps are very useful. Also in your box, you'll have the t-shirts for your volunteers. You get 2 free t-shirts. If you bought any extra t-shirts, they'll also be in the box for you or in boxes. We fit about 100 bags or about 70-ish t-shirts per box. So if you have a lot of bags and a lot of boxes for your big Energizer station, you may have multiple boxes. So do be prepared to pick everything up. You'll have a cowbell. For each Energizer station, it's a cowbell, so you can ring it and celebrate the bicyclists coming by. You'll have 2 Energizer station posters. You'll have one large one, 11 by 17, that says Energizer station. That's like your primary poster. And then there's be an 8.5 by 11 version also, the smaller one here on the right. It looks the same size in this presentation, but it's smaller in the box. you have two posters to put up so you can identify yours as an official Energizer station. You'll also have some extra SVBC cards. So people who come by that don't necessarily maybe run out of bags, and still give them a card and encourage them to support bicycling, and give them a card, and they can join, support us, and then attend the bike summit also, which is coming up in August. Okay, what you should bring. You should bring your Energizer station kit, your box or boxes. Have a table and bring tape so you can tape down the Energizer station signs or anything else that may be blowing away in the wind. In the morning, we typically have pretty calm mornings in the Bay Area, which is nice, so things shouldn't be blowing too hard. But in the afternoon or and on other days, it could be windier. I've got a question about how large the box is. Most of these boxes are 18 inches cubes, 18 by 18 by 18 inch cubes that are, they're the U-Haul medium-sized box. Some of the boxes are smaller because we tried to reuse the boxes the bags are packed in and repack kits in them. Those are about 16 inches by 16 by 16. Let's see. Yeah, so it's great taking your bike. So if you have one box and a regular bike, you can put it on the back of a bike. I've done that. It makes it a little harder sometimes throwing your leg over the back, but I have done that. I usually, when picking up boxes, I do it with a trailer because I've usually picked up boxes for multiple Energizer stations and hauled them around. Okay, so you've got your kit, your table, your tape. Bring your enthusiasm, bring friends and volunteers. A hat or canopy is recommended to keep the sun out of your eyes. And it's also nice, rather than wearing sunglasses, it's nice to be able to see people's eyes when you're interacting with them. So I have a preference for doing a hat or canopy instead of sunglasses when I'm actually in a booth. Canopies are heavy. That's a more challenging thing to bring on your bike if you choose to bike with that. Bring decorations. Here you've got some Pokemon catchers here. They've got a Pikachu and a Squirtle or something. I don't know what the other one is. I know Pikachu. So yeah, bring fun, entertaining decorations for your Energizer station. Music is also nice. If you've got a speaker or speaker system, you can bring along chairs. These are all optional, but again, spice up your Energizer station. If you can, an air pump is very helpful. A lot of people haven't ridden in a while, and sometimes their tires are a bit flat, and being able to fill up their tires at your station is very helpful. Tools, again, these are optional, but helpful. And snacks and drinks are very welcome at Energize stations to help energize people in addition to you cheering them on. If you do not have refreshments that you can provide yourself, you can get donations from local businesses. And as part of our Energizer station host guide, we've got a link in there to a donation form that if the business needs an acknowledgement of the donation, they can fill out that form, and then they keep a copy for themselves for the records, and then send a copy of that, just a photo or a scan of it, to donations@bikesiliconvalley.org. It's documented on the form itself. So if you can get them to fill that out, that would be great, and they get acknowledged. And I've got a question. How many people usually stop by on the bike tour every day morning? It is very dependent on the location where you are and the weather. Right now, the weather's looking great so far, so good. So some stations could get a couple hundred people stopping by, like on trails in particular, on a busy day. Other stations might only have 10 or 20 stop by. We use Strava heat maps to try to predict how many people will visit any given Energize station. But it's an art, not necessarily science, and figuring out where people will show up. And I've got a hand raised. Penny, yes. Whoops. Oh, there you are. What's your question? Penny, you're muted.
Yeah. So I just wanted to say, if you're not sure about how many bikes to expect at a specific location, you might reach out to your city's transportation officials, because they often have bicycle and pedestrian counts for specific streets. So if you're at a location where you're worried about numbers, that's a good way to check in advance.
Yeah. And Penny's a part of our Palo Alto team, and they've got some awesome Energizer station locations that are very high traffic. They have a lot of bicycles going through their spots. Okay, for setup, do arrive at least 30 minutes in advance. And that, of course, if you have a very complex Energizer station with lots of canopies and lots of catering, which some have had in the past, do start an hour in advance so that you're ready at start time for when your advertised station opens. Make sure that your location is very visible so that people biking by see it. You're not hidden behind trees. Make sure there's enough space around your station for bicyclists to gather and move freely without blocking trails. We want to make sure that trails stay unencumbered or passageways so that people can pass through them. Like if you're at a Caltrain station or BART station where you keep having people as far from the trains as possible so that people can pass by and you don't get wind blasts from trains. Know where your nearest restroom is, both for you and your volunteers, as well as people who drop by and say, I really need to go. Where do I go? So know your nearest public restroom, whether it be a park or a Starbucks or whatever. Put up your Energizer station poster. So you're officially labeled, this is the Energizer station. And then before everyone arrives, take some pictures and post those and get people warmed up and say, hey, I'm all ready for you. Come on, get it. Okay. During your Energizer station for the operations, smile. And everyone should show you their pledge to ride ticket to get their bag. And if they have not pledged yet, they're just riding by, on your poster, there's a QR code they can scan to pledge to ride. Or they can go to bikesiliconvalley.org/P2R to get to the pledge form directly. Or they can go to bikesiliconvalley.org/BTWD. And from there, there's a link. They just click and then they can pledge from there. The Bike to Wherever Day main page has a lot of other information about Bike to Wherever Day, about all the map of all the stations. It's got our information about our bash and other information about other things we're doing. Okay, so this is what the ticket looks like if they've printed it in advance. So if someone pledged to ride and it's printed out, this is what it looks like. The key stuff to look for is just Bike to Wherever Days 2023 is just look for that phrase on the ticket. And then you don't need to check them in. We tried checking in previous years and it was just a little bit too much effort. So now you flash the ticket, you get your bag. And they could have the ticket on their phone. There's two different versions. The first one is just from within Eventbrite before it's been added to Apple Wallet. You'll see a little bit of the logo and you'll see someone's name and you'll see Bike to Wherever Days. And then if it's in their wallet, like on an iPhone, you'll just have this Eventbrite from May 18th pledge to work/Bike to Wherever Days 2023. So that's what this ticket looks like. And let's see. Okay. And if people have not pledged, just ask them to register on their phones and don't do it on your phone because you'll be occupied. They can occupy their phone and type all the information in. It doesn't take that long. Go to bikesiliconvalley.org/P2R. And if they're reluctant to pledge, remind them why this is important. We need more people power to make it safer to bike. We need more people power to reduce climate change. We need more people power to reduce pollution. We need more people power to get cars off there and get people biking and more educated. So people power is key. And Monica, you have a question.
I do. What if somebody comes by and says they registered, but they can't find it on their phone or they don't have their ticket?
Honor system will trust them. Give them a bag. And if they really can't figure out how to do it on their phone, it just is beyond them. It's okay just to use your judgment and give them a bag and keep them happy. Unlike times in the past, though, we were hoping that people have the honor system and just take one bag. Some of the high-tech employees on their way to work pre-pandemic would go by half a dozen Energizer stations. They'd be bounty hunting. They'd be picking up a bag at every single one. It's not about the quantity of bags. We just want people to get one bag ideally. So hopefully people will just do the honor system, just get just a single bag. And we'll get, we typically get a lot of people to pledge on the day of Bike to Wherever Days. We see a big spike in pledging on that day. Oh, and yeah, so yeah, here's an Energizer station with some two former staff members having lots of bicycles go by. This is one of the high traffic locations on the Guadalupe Trail near a bridge, near VTA headquarters also. Okay, so yeah, pledging is our most important metric. Also, as you're able to, do a simple manual count, just with a tally or however you want to keep track of the people who stop at your station. You don't have to, if people just fly by, don't worry about them. We just want to have an idea of how much business you got at your station. And you can just estimate also afterwards, but it's easy to take a little simple tally count, just use tally marks. And email a station location, or email your location and your count to btwd@bikesiliconvalley.org, and we'll collect the metrics there. Okay, and here's a great example of some zero waste, like apples and oranges. They come in their own wrapper. Nature was very nice to put a wrapper on these, so you can just eat them, and then you can compost the results. People do like donuts. Then these typically come in a compostable box at least. I do try to avoid the plastic bottles. So if you have a reusable water container that you can just serve water out of, that is preferred for minimizing waste. But we do want to keep people happy. So sometimes it's easy to have pre-wrapped snacks. Do have a trash bag then available for any trash you generate, or a recycling bag, better, to recycle whatever you have left over at your station. Also, we have Bike to Wherever Day ambassadors, our bike ambassadors. These are very special people who are trained in what Silicon Valley Bicycle Coalition is all about. They may be at your station. We're trying to email all the stations in advance if there is a bike ambassador who's going to be there. They're there to educate people at SVBC and talk in more depth about what SVBC does. And hopefully they will get people to support us with a monetary donation. And if the bike ambassador has that with them, they'll have some extra t-shirts with them. And if you donate on the spot, you get a t-shirt on the spot. Also on May 18th, we have bike bashes, which the ambassadors will also be talking about, to get people to come to our after work parties. We've got, there are 2 of them on May 18th, one in Santa Clara County and one in San Mateo County. Monica and John will actually be anchoring the one down in Santa Clara County with other staff there as well. It'll be at Stanford Research Park. You can go to bikesiliconvalley.org/BTWD to get more information on those bashes. The one in San Mateo County will be at Cognition Cyclery in San Mateo. They've got a beautiful bike store up there. So yeah, come to one of our parties and enjoy the refreshments and the music and the company, and we'll celebrate our bike ambassadors there. There'll be 2 very special raffles at these bashes. They're giving away a bike at each one. There's a hardtail mountain bike at Cognition. There'll be an e-bike given away at Stanford Research Park. So those are really cool events to go to win a bike. We also have drawings for smaller prizes. Actually, for everyone who pledges to ride, we'll be giving out prizes on the 18th, 19th, 20th. We'll do some drawings. So there'll be prizes people can win. Yes, Penny.
Just a gentle reminder that SRP is asking people to sign up for a ticket so that they can plan for the numbers of people. That courtesy of that RSVP is important. Thank you.
Yes, that's very important. Yes, you do need to sign up in advance for both of the bashes so they know how many people are coming. So go there and register on Eventbrite for the bash. But you can sign up, you can show up and sign up on the spot, but it does help for planning purposes. Okay, make joyful noises with your speaker system or your cowbell. Take pictures of people going by as well as people who are stopping, and do selfies. Have people take pictures of you. Post those on Facebook and Instagram are the primary social media that we're paying attention to. Take pictures of the bags, people picking up bags. When you post your pictures, tag them with #BTWD and do @Silicon Valley Bike Coalition or @BikeSV or whatever the tag is for your social media side. Right now, our social media tags aren't necessarily consistent. I think @BikeSV might be Twitter, but we're not particularly excited about Twitter these days. Sorry. But Instagram, Facebook, wherever, just @Silicon Valley Bicycle Coalition. And just do your best and have fun. Here's someone enjoying their bag here that they picked up. Afterwards, leave no trace behind. If there was trash at your site when you arrived, please pick up that trash so we leave the site cleaner than when we arrived. Upload your pictures if you can to bikesiliconvalley.org/BTWD. There's actually a link there. I'll double check to make sure it's there, but there should be a picture donation link. So any pictures taken during Bike to Wherever Day, we can collect them so we have all these pictures to use at future Bike to Wherever Days. Fill out your feedback form that will be emailing you out after this is all over. Any boxes, like the box that you get, don't rip it to shreds. We'll want to reuse those boxes. So if you have someone who's moving, give them the box. They can use the box. If you don't have someone who's moving, or you can just return the box and any leftovers you have, any extra maps, cards, whatever, extra bags, you didn't get them all out, you can drop them back at the Sunnyvale sub-office of Silicon Valley Bike Coalition, which happens to be my house. See the solar panels on top of it. So you can drop it off 24/7 on my porch, on my bench, and I will bike them back to our headquarters or redistribute them to other Energizer stations that may be running short on the night on Friday or Saturday. Or you can also drop off extra bags at one of the bike shops on our Bike to Every Days map. If you see a bike shop near you that's giving out bags, you can give them some extra bags. They'll be happy to redistribute them to customers that come in and pick up bags as well as buy stuff from them. So again, this information is in the Energizer Station host guide as well. And actually, I will be adding this a link to this presentation to the host guide and update the host guide as well. Okay, look at that. I'm finished in under half an hour, and now we have Q&A. So you can pop your question into the chat or raise your hand and give me your best shot. What tough questions do you have for me? And let's see, I'm going to stop the share also so we can all see each other. And you can turn on your video if you want to smile at people. Sean, yes.
All right. Thanks, Tim. I think I was wondering, with some of the Energizer stations, for example, my Energizer station, I'm signed up to set up at a Caltrain station. I just wanted to know, is there some sort of permit that we should have displayed at the table day of?
Actually, the permits, I should be getting them shortly, and I'll email them out to the people who need them. Which Caltrain station are you at?
San Mateo, downtown.
Okay, the San Mateo downtown Caltrain station, I think, is actually owned by the city. And as long as you're away from the tracks, you may not actually need a permit from Caltrain. Getting permits is like mind-boggling because it's different jurisdictions own different facilities and they have different challenges. A lot of times the cities just allow us to just hang out on city property at a park or wherever. So if you stay on the side, you probably won't be bothered. But if you do need a permit, I'll be getting those from Caltrain officially, hopefully in the next few days. I'll email those out to the stations that need them. So
awesome. Thank you.
Other questions? Anyone? Oh, and okay. Jennifer, I missed the bag. Will we get a recap email after this? Oh, the beginning. I am recording this session, so I will post a link to the recording also and send it out to people who miss my training sessions. And if you read the Energizer Station host guide, it has everything you need to know in textual format and more than I've even covered in the presentation. Okay, other questions? Quiet group this morning. I had a lot of questions last night. Okay, guidance on do's, don'ts when it comes to bike repairs, tire filling. You're considered volunteers, and there's a Volunteer Protection Act. So, and people should be responsible for their own bike. So you provide the tools, and also, and you're going to be busy just doing the Energizer station. So you're not going to have time typically to do repairs. So, you know, people use your pumps to pump up their own tires. They need some tools. Hopefully they just honorably borrow the tool and fix it themselves and give the tool back. Yeah, you don't have to do any repairs yourself. Now, if I'm a pretty competent mechanic. I do all my own repairs. I'll typically fix people's bikes, but you don't have to. And then you're protected by the Volunteer Protection Act. As a volunteer, you're there just trying to help them. So there are no liability concerns. And SVBC, we do have insurance for our events for liability reasons also. That is a fallback, but we would rather not have to rely on that. Okay, any other questions? Okay. Well, thank you very much for joining me this morning. I will hang out here a while longer, but now you can get to your whatever you need to do this morning. And see, we're finished in half an hour. Isn't that awesome? You get half an hour back to enjoy your morning or get work done. So thank you all for joining me this morning. See you later.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, Tim.
Oh, Keith, you're talking. Are you trying to say something? No, okay. Okay. Bye.